So all of us who started the journey of life right from the womb of the mother, and when we took birth in this world, people noted the date, and that date we call it as birthday, and every year we celebrate with so much of joy, cutting the cake and etc. So Prabhupada said that we are moving from one phase of life to another, and with every minute we are growing old. Therefore, whenever we ask a person, we ask how old are you? We don't ask how young are you? Yes. Yes. So at every moment, this is what happens to each one of us. We are growing old. Even a newborn baby, we ask how old is he? And the parents say 5 days old, 10 days old, 3 months old. So in this way, this body takes birth and it goes through another 5 transformations. First transformation itself is taking birth. The other 5 transformations, it grows. You see, the body keeps growing. Then after that, it stays for some time. The body stays for some time. And then next, the body produces various byproducts. Various different things the body produces. And then the next phase is the difficult to digest, and that is the body starts decaying, the body starts dwindling, the body starts becoming older and older. And finally, the last one is the body vanquishes. So these are the 6 phases of life, or 6 phases of this body, to be more precise. Starting with birth, it grows, it stays, it produces byproducts, it starts dwindling, and finally it vanquishes. These are the 6 phases of this body. And many times when people start practicing bhakti, then others they start saying, why so early? Why so early? Bhakti is meant for old age. Why so early? This is a very important statement that we have to analyze today. Is bhakti meant for old age? Very, very important. At least when I started practicing bhakti during my engineering college days, at that time, many of my relatives were behind me. Why so early? This is the time to enjoy. This is not the time to do this bhakti shakti and all that. See, one important point that each one of us have to know is one cannot start anything new in knowledge. This is something which all of us universally accept. There's a nice quote that says, young age is like wet cement. Whatever falls makes an impression. And old age is like dry cement. Can you do anything with dry cement? It's just a block, that's it. You can just break it. You cannot do much, you cannot modify. So this point is very important that we cannot start anything new in the old age. To start practicing bhakti in old age, oh, that's too much expectation. Materially, we cannot do anything new, we cannot start anything new. Just thinking about this, you're talking something very, very high level spiritual practice. How can someone begin at the old age? And all of us know in the old age, there are huge number of problems that people face. Huge number of problems. I can see some senior citizens sitting in the class. You can tell them what personal experience, how difficult the situation is in the old age. Would you like to share what are the difficulties that people face in old age? There are so many health problems. Yes. And very important is forgetfulness. Forgetfulness, yes. So much forgetfulness, yes. And or hearing issues. Family. Huh? In old age also, or those with family commitments, yes. Huh? Lose interest in life. Thinking about the past, yes, all the time thinking about the past. What else? Not able to see, he said, not able to hear, he said, not able to see, okay, etc. You see, all of us we know there is a huge list that is awaiting all of us, and already some of us are going through it. Specifically, here I'd like to categorize these problems into five. So, all of us remember the ones who are going to enter that phase, and the ones already going through that phase. I've given or I made an acronym for CAMEL. CAMEL. I've done this many times, but this time specifically, exclusively, I'm focusing on this aspect of old age. C stands for crisis. Now, what happens in the entire life? The person has done various different activities and family, and the person hits the old age. At that time, he gets the question: what have I really done in my life? What have I done in my life till now? Sometimes this question starts looking at his mind. And you know why? Would you like to tell the answer why? Why does he feel like this? He has lived a successful life. He has done everything possible for his family, for himself, but still he feels, what did I do in my life? Yeah. Okay, defense is always there. So, okay, when this opportunity in the past, so because of that, I feel, okay, yes, yes, point. What else? What is that? Okay, okay, thinking about past, so you feel that I've not done much. See, one point to know, throughout his life, a person was not been practicing bhakti. What has he done? Throughout his life, many material activities he has done. In first canto of Bhagavatam, we have a very beautiful conversation. After the entire Mahabharata Yuddha, all the Kauravas died. But Kaurava's father, he remained. His name is Dhritarashtra. He remained. So now what happened is where he's supposed to go. So he stayed with the Pandavas. Can you imagine the same five Pandavas whom he tried killing and plotting against them? He had to stay with them on their mercy. So now what happened is, just before the war started, Dhritarashtra's brother, he left for pilgrimage. Which brother? Pandu brother died. No. Vidura went to pilgrimage. He went to different holy places. And then after the entire war, he came back. And when he came back, he saw Dhritarashtra no, Pandavas. Pandavas were very happy to invite Vidura home. They were glorified him, Swagatam, so Swagatam, they got inside. And Vidura saw Dhritarashtra. And he went to Dhritarashtra and he started giving a strong pravachan possible. Very strong class. Very strong. He went on to say, you are like a dog eating the remnants thrown by Bhima. Because Bhima was known to kill possibilities. of the last one. He went on to say this, and during that time, he told something very important, which is very much in context of this world crisis. Please, you have to hear carefully and please, I'm going to explain it. येन चैवाभिपन्नोऽयम् प्राणैर्प्रियतमैरपि जनः सद्यो वियुज्येत किम् उदान्यैर्धनादिभिः. Beautiful shloka. Now, so you know what to realization. This says, Janaha Abhimanana Jena, under the influence of Kala, under the influence of time, what happens? Everyone, all the Jana, everyone, Viyujyeta must surrender. What they have to surrender? Prana Priyadamani Api. The most dear thing in life for all of us is our Prana. Under the influence of Kala, one has to surrender one's prana. Basically, comes to your body, that's the point. And here the question is, then what to speak about Anyai and about other things? Your own dear life is supposed to give up, but then what about other things? Specifically, he says, Dhaniki, wealth, family members, position, property, everything. See, throughout life, what about that? When he says I live a successful life, what does that mean? I've taken care of the family members. I got huge property. I have enough bank balance. I had a good position, etc. etc. But tell me, all this material, and one of the qualities of the material thing is this temporary. So with time, all these things leave. Or let me put it more precisely, all these things are taken away. Maybe voluntarily you give or involuntarily dispose of them. Yes. So here, when the person loses all these different things, tell me, won't you feel that thing in the heart? Whatever I did till now, in my life, nothing remains with me now. It's all gone. And that the person gets into frustration, gets into depression. Very unfortunate situation to see. Tell me, in this frustration, is it possible for a person to start devotional service? Start practicing bhakti? Come on, there should be some space here to start practicing bhakti. Now, when a person is frustrated in life, is depressed, thinking, what did I do in my life? What did I do in my life? How can he start anything? How can he get spiritual focus? Well, this is the first one. So, this is C. That is crisis. A stands for anxiety. What is the anxiety that a person has in his life? Old man? Old people's anxiety? What do you say? Huh? Okay, that is very near. You never go just outside the door trying to ring the bell. Yes. And? Fear of losing something precious, very amazing. And anxiety, old people's anxiety. See, this all anxiety, the person worries a lot. He worries a lot about his own future, as someone said. Death is just there, going to knock the door, going to come inside. And there's another great worry that he has is, after I leave, what will happen to my family? What will happen to my property, my bank balance? Will my kids use it properly or no? What will happen? What will happen? Anxiety. Shankaracharya very beautifully he puts forward in his song, Bhaja Govindam, verse 7. He says, please repeat. Balastavat Kridasakta Tarunastavat Tarunasakta Buddhastavat Chantasakta Paidhammani Gopinasakta Asakta, attached. So in the childhood, Balavastha, Krida Asakta. So in the childhood, the person is attached, child is attached, or a small boy or a girl is attached to what? Gita? Play. Yes. Only we have to accept and sitting in the class instead of playing. Naturally, kids are very attached to playing. Gita. Second, Taruna Avastha, Taruni Asakta. When Taruna Avastha, Shankaracharya is saying, he's very attached to find out the opposite gender, a match for his life. Where is that dream girl? Where is that dream boy? That man is coming back. And now he comes to a very important point. He says, Vrithavastha Chantasakta. And in the old age, see, these are not my words, such a great Acharya is saying. In the old age, the person is attached to his own worries of life. And he has so many worries about what will happen next, what will happen next, what will happen next. And specifically, he says, Pare Brahmani Gopina Sakta. With all these attachments, he never able to think about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Or Brahman is not able to think about it. I still remember meeting one very senior advocate. He was 65 plus those age. So I met him in a program. At that time, he was telling that how successful he had lived his entire life. He was telling that my daughter is there in the US, another one in the UK. My wife, she was working in so and so company, and then we have a house here in this place. This conversation took place in this Indiranagar, in one of the programs. And then I asked him, you I knew very well about Shastra that no one in this world can be so happy the way he's spoken. I just scratched a bit. I asked him, like now he's 65 plus, you have some worries, no? And then he started the story. The story of worry. He started saying, see, I'm becoming old day by day. And I've got Parkinson's. So look at this. I'm not able to hold like a cup of tea also. He got held it up and showed. And then he said that now anytime I can be better. And my daughter is in UK and another in the US, who is going to take care of me? What will happen to my family after I leave? And you know, he went on and on and on with all his anxieties. So here comes a very important thing. The person's mind is completely cluttered with anxieties. Completely cluttered with anxieties. Tell me, when the mind is so much completely cluttered with anxieties, how can a person focus on devotional service in bhakti? How can he focus? Those people who say that bhakti is meant for old age, are real people are struggling with their crisis in life, their anxieties in life, they are struggling. Another very horrifying thing that takes place in the old age, which many scriptures describe very beautifully, is when we say that the person is getting old. So what is getting old? The body also is getting old. And we just spoke about the 6 phases the body goes through. Birth and finally last is death. And the second class is the body dwindles. It goes older and older and older. So now, when the gross body is becoming old, soul is young. Another question, what about the subtle body, that's the state of mind? Does that also grow old or that remains the same as before? What do you say? Mind also grows old. It is the same. In fact, there is nothing wrong to say that it has become much and much younger than before. Because the desires that keep in the old age, when physically a person is not able to do any activity, very obnoxious desire will come in the heart, will come in the mind of the person. Very obnoxious desire that comes. Yes. And we are discussing about those who are not practicing bhakti. Bhakti or bhakti for old age. In old age, it is not now. See, entire life the person has just spent his life enjoying. I know many old people who sit in front of TV all the time. Nowadays, mobiles are there, YouTube. Busy scrolling, busy. Yes. Tell me, with so many dirty samskaras, anything that you watch nowadays is dirty only. Hardly anything good you will see. Be it simple advertisements. At least a half naked woman has to come on the advertisement. So all those impressions are there, unfortunately. And all these impressions are there. How can the mind allow it to remain peaceful at the world is challenging? It is described that empty mind, devils worship. And now when the person is very busy, when the person was very busy, mind was busy. Now the person has nothing much to do, mind is idle. And all things that go on in the mind. A very beautiful sloka from 9th canto and Ireland. Please read it. Yaduskya durmati Jirato yana jirate Tam Krishna Dukha Nivan Sharvakamo Dutam Jaje Durmati, that person who will spend their entire life in material enjoyment, that's material enjoyment. There are many people around on the street, isn't it? Life is meant for enjoyment. So those people who have spent all their life in material enjoyment, Krishna Tushtyacha, the desire for material enjoyment to give up is very, very difficult. Very difficult. Your entire life the person has done that. He has trained his mind entire life in material enjoyment. And here it said, Jiryatara, na Jiryata, even when the person becomes old, even at that time, the desire does not become old, the desire is not diminish. In fact, there will be no harm saying the desires become more and more strong. And here it is said, Sharma Dhamma, Drutam Tyaje, Dukham Nivaha. So, what actually this kind of person life is all these material desires. And those people who are very intelligent are expected to give up these material desires at one point of time. So now, see here it is very clear that it's very difficult to give up material desires even when the body becomes old. So, this is the shloka is established in the mind. And Srila Prabhupada writes a very wonderful thing, an explanation and a purport to this particular shloka. He says, we have actually seen, especially in the Western countries, that men who have reached more than 80 years of age still go to nightclubs and pay heavy fees to drink wine associated with women. Although such men are too old to enjoy anything, their desires have not ceased. They cannot do anything. They cannot enjoy a woman, they cannot enjoy anything, including foodstuff, they cannot digest foodstuffs. But still, the desires are not ceased. Time deteriorates even the body itself, which is the medium for all sexual satisfaction. But even when a man becomes old and invalid, his desires are strong enough to dictate that he go here and there to satisfy the desires of his senses. Mind dictates. How you do this? How you do that? I was very astonished to come across some case studies. Very unfortunate case studies. Here in the same place, the organization I was called for a program. And after the program, one old lady came to meet me. Very old. She asked I to talk to her personally. And when we sat in the room, which was made up of glass walls, she started crying. And I was very much worried. My worry was what do people outside think will all must see me and her. You can imagine my situation. I'm in Saturn and she's sitting and she's crying. I asked her to stop crying and tell me what happened. She told something very astonishing. She said, the great worry in my life is my husband. He's sending every month 50,000 online tickets to different females. Yeah, women in Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata. She named her. And she said, my husband traveled all the way from Bangalore to these places just to meet them. And every day morning he starts his day by chatting with them. And she said, I personally saw the messages, they were so dirty. What dirty thing is speaking to them? I was very curious. She's so old. What was the age of the husband? What was the age of the husband? She said 75. Can you imagine this? 75-year-old man. He is trying his best to have sexual pleasures and attitudes. What kind of mind is young? Body is old, but mind is young. The mind is dictating the person to do this and do that, because mind is untrained. Never in his life he practice devotional service. Now he's doing all this nonsense. Many times it is also found that old men and women are engaged in sexual abuse, abusing other people. They are found like this. Very unfortunate. So about a man, let me talk about a woman also. There also motionless. What do you say? I used to go to a place to get resources. And then there was one old lady, very modern in her appearance. So I was observing that for a few weeks she was very sad. Then I asked the mentor who had assigned to take care of these people. So I asked the mentor, why is this lady so sad? What happened? She told something, I was taken aback. The mentor got to know that she's sad because recently she had breakup with her boyfriend. What is it? I asked what is the age? The mentor told me recently she celebrated her 73rd birthday. And I cannot forget this incident. I was giving class. She was also. I was studying that when it comes to the phases of life, after crossing the age of 50, one should give up all material activities just to do nothing. That's what various scriptures say. And he started saying, come on, Lord, what are you saying? I'm planning to shift to Goa just to play champion and enjoy. He's saying, your material enjoyment? What is this? The lady is talking like this. Can you imagine this? Again, the same thing. Entire life is given to train the mind. For entire life, you are trained the mind in a very obnoxious way. With all sorts of material enjoyment possible. Now the person is old. When the person is thinking like this about having a boyfriend or a girlfriend and enjoying sensual pleasures, I don't think there is anything surprising. Nothing surprising in this. Anyone who is born with a train in his mind throughout his life is going to suffer like this. Just think about yourself. Say, you shouldn't have to understand about yourself. You're very good. Say you're 18. And the men are searching for a girl to make a girlfriend, and the female is searching for a boy to make a boyfriend. Just think about it. Just think about what the family members will say. Just think about what the grandchildren will think. They say, Taruna Avastha, Taruni Avastha. There is no problem. I, as a youth, am searching for opposite gender. Look at my grandmother. Look at her useless girl. What is it doing? Just think about the situation. Now tell me, with all these dirty, obnoxious thoughts in the mind, can someone focus on chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra? It is just beginning now, old age. He comes from the Gita for the first time, he's going to pick up the beat and then he's expected to chant. And if he has these sanskars, and he's chanting Hare Krishna, all those dirty things will only come. His full life is done that. Full life is done that. Very heavy situation. Very fearful situation. You never know. We can never say that to Kabir Jama in this situation. Kabir Jama is. We never know anything happen to anyone. If we don't train our mind, this mind is very strong. And that's what Arjuna is telling on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Arjuna is telling very important thing. Please repeat. Chanchalam Himala Krishna Pramathi Balavadridam Tasyam Nigraham Manye Vayureva Sudushkaram. Arjuna is telling Krishna, Hey Krishna, your mind is chanchal, feeling restless, and tells something very important. He says, Balavat, my mind is very strong. Once it decides, it is Ziddhi. Once, it's very awesome. wants it and wants. This is all the mind behaves. And this mind will remain the same throughout. And if you don't train this mind, old age is going to be really painful. Very painful. We have discussed three. C stands for crisis. A, anxiety. M, mind is young. Fourth one is E, exposed to reality. As the person grows older and older and older, he is able to see the unfortunate, bitter reality coming in front of his own eyes. As all of you have spoken about various bodily ailments that people get as people grow older and older and older. Shankaraचार्य also describes this in a song that I know. Very beautiful. Angam Dalitam Paritam Mondam Dashanavihinam Jatam Kundam Vruddho Yadi Giritvarandam Karapinam Shatyashapindam. I think most of you might have understood the meaning. He's saying, Angam Galitam. As the person grows older and older, what happens? Angam Galitam. The body deteriorates. All of us have seen it. All of us. As we're growing older and older and older, the body is deteriorating day by day. Angam Galitam. Palitam Mondam. All the hair on the head will start becoming grey and white. Yes, with time. And with time it will fall. Dashanavihinam Jatam Kundam. Kundam, the mouth. What will happen? All the teeth will start falling. You have to fix the artificial ones. Vruddho Yadi Giritvarandam. And when the body is deteriorating day by day, the body will not have enough strength to walk also. At that time, the person will need an eternal companion. Yes, the stick. Without speaking about it also more on. I still remember some person was celebrating his 70th birthday. So someone came and gave him a gift in a box. He opened the box and there was some stick-like structure. He opened it, it was foldable stick. And he saw the stick, he got so furious and offended. And you know what he said? Am I so old and you give me a stick? That's how people feel. But this was back of mind. You like it or don't like it, all of you will go through the situation. We will all the stick more. And here is the next one. Tadapina Muchati Asha Pinta. Even when all is happening, the desire is not going to happen. So the person is able to see himself, his body slowly day by day. The bitter reality is able to see. Day by day he is able to see. When Vidura was chastising Dhritarashtra, and you fool, you are there here in the house of Pandavas. And he went on speaking some more things. He said, Anta Puraiva Vadiro Anta Puraiva Vadiro Manda Pragyasya Sampratam Vishirna Danta Mandani Saraya Kapopaham. Very nice. So Vidura has not done anything physically to Dhritarashtra, but every time he was going, I slapped Dhritarashtra's face. See what he is saying. He is saying, Andhana, right from childhood you have been blind. Sampada, and now you have become Vadira also. Now hearing has also become very weak. As all of you also said. So as the person grows older, seeing is difficult. Hearing is difficult. Manda Pragya, and your intelligence has become so weak. You see, in old age, when it comes to memory power, someone rightly said, someone said, memory power was not increasing. remembering things becomes very difficult. Sometimes people have specs on the head and they search everywhere in the house. There is great anxiety. Where is my specs? Where is my specs? I still remember one of my students, he got his 80-year-old mother living, and he was telling me, Roshi, can you please help my mother to memorize the Hare Krishna Mahamantra? What is there to memorize? Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Correct? No? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Is there anything to memorize this? I was shocked. I said, what is there to memorize this? At that time, he told me, I got my mother. She will chant, and then after that, she will put Hari somewhere, Krishna somewhere, Ram somewhere. She will make her own mantra. I was wondering, this is what happened over here. Hare Krishna Mahamantra memorization is difficult. Therefore, to start bhakti over here, how is it possible? If you cannot memorize Hare Krishna Mahamantra, all of chant belongs. So over here, the Guru is saying, Manda Pragya, your intelligence has become weak. Is your memory power has become weak? And one more thing that I observed is to focus on anything in old age is very difficult. It's not their mistake. Body has become like that. I personally observed in my classes, there are senior citizens on the camp there. Here we have a very other senior citizen group. There are places where I have been doing resources. And I chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, I chant the entire day Om Jnana Gnana Siddhi Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And then I open my eyes, fast asleep. Fast asleep. And then at the end when I say, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki, Prabhupada ki, that's it. And the best part is, they come to me and they say, oh, your grace class was very amazing. Maybe it's a compliment that the class is so nice, I was very peaceful sleep. But on a serious note, just think about it. Actually, it's not a mistake. These are that crisis, that anxiety, and that young mind troubling. To focus on something is very difficult because you're not training yourself to focus. In the young age, it's a little easier to focus. But as the person becomes older and older, to focus becomes very difficult. Very difficult. And learning capacity, that also goes down. If the person starts saying, I know everything, there's nothing to learn. The learning capacity also goes down. So in this way, you can see what the Guru is saying to grasp your Namsa Pratyahara, your intelligence become weak. You're disturbed. He's saying, Vishira Nanta, look at your teeth, they become loose. They're fallen apart. Nanda Agni. Look at your digestive fire. That has gone down. Nanda. Sarag, Kapamotva, still you are so attached, coughing all the time and making guru sound from within. Oh, it's very scary. This phase of life is very scary. And very unfortunately, people in India, they brainwash others saying, bhakti is meant for old age. How can you do bhakti in such a situation? So difficult. You cannot remember things, you cannot learn things, you cannot focus on things. And it's all this bitter truth that you are understanding in life, that how the body is deteriorating day by day. And this is the time when you will understand actually who are your people. Because when the person is young, everyone is walking around. Because you have money, you have capacity to give them some gratification. When the person becomes old, he will just take, he cannot give. At that time, people slowly and steadily start suffering. And at that time, when the person sees this, people are he's so disturbed, so disturbed. Now tell me, in such old age where he is hardly able to sit at one place, he is hardly able to chant attentively, read scriptures, he cannot see how can he read scriptures, and with all these attention in the mind, tell me how can he practice devotional service, how can he start a devotional service. You know that very bigger truth is exposed to the reality now. That's E. C-A-N-E is what we are saying. L. So this is the time when the person starts feeling very lonely. He starts thinking, no one's taking care of me. I did so much for them, now they're not taking care of me. That's a fact, no, they're taking care of the kids, and now the kids have become older, they have their own families now. Now they're expecting some privacy, they're expecting some independence. And you cannot expect those people, grown up people to just be around you and take care of you all the time. But then there is no expectation. I did so much, you also should do that. Same thing to me. There's no wrong expectation. The expectation is there. In the young age, I always surrounded by friends, colleagues, and all of them. There's so much excitement. And in the old age, children become busy in their own life. Maybe spouses are passed away, there's another thing. No one's there to speak them. At this time, the person starts and nobody likes you, nobody cares you. And it is seen as a statistics, health statistics given by health organizations. They say after a certain age, because of this loneliness, old people get into depression. There are cases of suicide also because of depression. Tell me, in those feelings of loneliness, how can you focus on working? How is it possible to focus on working? Even if he sits to chant, yes, the same begins to chant, he'll get these thoughts, I did so much for them, now I'm not taking care of me, what will happen to me, etc., etc., etc. So this gamble will not leave the person in the old age. A very dangerous gamble, you see. What is the gamble? See, crisis. The person feels this, that what have I done in my life? A, anxiety. What will happen next? M, mind is young. He has got all the thoughts, obnoxious thoughts, material desires. E, exposed to reality. He stands with his impact. L, loneliness. And he's not that no one likes me, no one's taking care of him. Tell me, with all these thoughts, how can an old man, old woman start practicing something? Old age is not meant to start. Old age is meant to relish the mature realizations which the person gets by practicing bhakti in the young age. It's not a time to start anything, material or spiritual. You cannot start. Yes. Even if you start, plan to start, this camera will come to trouble. So next time, whenever someone comes to tell you that bhakti is meant for old age, you tell the story of camera. I feel very fortunate that so many young people who are sitting in their room and they invite this knowledge. It's very nice, very good. There's some worse part also in this world. If you don't the person is becoming old, other people not allow him to think that he is becoming old. It's an unfortunate situation, you see. It's an unfortunate situation. Firstly, it's a fact currently in this age, people are living a very superficial life. Very superficial. Tell me why do old people are to care? What for me? But still, no, not do. As soon as the hair grow white, immediately they cover it up. Immediately. Look out. And recently I got to a place and some the issues gone through a place where both the dentist and cosmetic related. They're there for the poster. One side, an old woman, a lot of wrinkles here. And then after cosmetic, whatever process, the other side, now no wrinkles are there. And I was looking at that, I was thinking, my God, this is how people are put into illusion. You're not old. Still young. One of my relatives turned 55. And then somehow we happened to talk during that time, the day of birthday. A person told me that today is my birthday, I lost 55. And I told him, my God, I turned 55, I'm going to die anytime. That person said, come on, what are you saying? People around me are telling that I don't look like 55. I don't look like as if I want the other kids. I said, this is how people put us in illusion. There's one person, 65-year-old, he was coming to our program regularly. So one day I was just talking to him and he was saying, I have a lot of problem at my home. What is the problem? So at home it seems people are telling him, his wife and his kids, that you are not so old to do bhakti. I said, what is your age? 65. I said, 65 of bhakti, when? What do you mean by not old? So those are people put other people in pollution. So unfortunate. So very unfortunate. And we have these motivational speeches where people say that even old people have young energy and do whatever they want. Come on, it's the time to retire and do only bhakti. But unfortunately, when people are kept in illusion, this is the worst thing. They're not able to accept that become evil. Very difficult reason. In the past, as soon as people would see that the hair had grown white, they would just retire all the material elements and just focus on devotional service. But now, superficial life, now the conversation, someone was telling me that see, nobody till now has struggled so much. Till the age of 50, 55, we struggled so much to settle our kids, travel, life balance, this and that. So come on, now is the time to enjoy. Now we have time. This is not a time to enjoy. Now the communities, old ladies, 70, 75, 80, there was one lady of age 90 also. They had fashion shoes. Wearing mini skirt, hair has fallen the neck, wig on the head, doing all sorts of makeup and walking on the land. Playing cards, watching obnoxious things, discussing obnoxious things, drinking alcohol. Can you imagine what is happening around? Worst part, we are not allowed to believe or we are made to believe that we are not so old also. We can do whatever. But our value system is so glorious. The value system, the entire life divided in four parts. 25, 25, 25, 25. If you will have followed this. First 25 years are called as the phase of brahmacharya. The next 25 is the phase of married life. The next 25 is the phase of retired life. And the next 25 is the phase of sannyasa, renunciation. So in the Vedic system, you know what? The first 25 years, the boy is trained. Those young kids, they're trained for what? They're trained to live a life which is awaiting for them. They're trained in brahmacharya. They're trained in bhakti. They're trained in mind control. They're trained in sense control. They're trained in various different ways. They're trained in all this. They're actually develop attachment also. So for them to get detached from the material sense gratification is very easy. Therefore, those people who will pass out Guru, it's up to them. Now they can take sannyas or they can get married. So most of them will get married. For 25 years, they stay together, husband and wife. And as soon as the person crosses 50, 51, yes. In Hindi also we say 51, and then one. It's not this one, the one means forest. So it's expected that the person goes to forest. It means Vanaprastha. Because the state is called as Vanaprastha. Now husband and wife, they go to Tirthyatra, and all the time they are preparing themselves to immerse themselves in Bhakti. And then finally, when they have both got enough attachment from each other and trained enough in devotional service, then the husband takes sannyas, wife remains at the home as sannyasini. She will not get involved in household affairs. She will be there at home, but all the time she will be involved in bhakti. She will not get into who is taking care of my kitchen, where is the keys of the treasury, etc. She is busy with devotional service. Husband is busy with devotional service. And in this way, both of them equip their body and attain the ultimate destination. This is Vedic system. This is Vedic system. Now, unfortunately, what has happened? People don't get married at the age of 25, 26. They want to get married after 30. Then they get kids at dates. And then when the kids are still going to school, they are already crossed the day. And now you pass the day better and now they're possible. And then since they're living a life like this, where is the question of getting pregnant devotional service? Therefore, always this question comes to me when people say that we are advancing. I always ask this question: how are we advancing? Where are we advancing? Ideally, this is what the advancement that you live your life systematically, that you're ready to build the body. But unfortunately, in the modern world, advancement is all superficial. Unfortunately, very, very unfortunate. So, what is the solution for this scandal? There's only a spiritual solution. Only that sadhaka, that person, a spiritual practitioner, who has taken up to spiritual practice at a very young age, they can escape the scandal. Or those people who have spent a long time in bhakti, they can escape this. Very dangerous scandal. As I already said, old age is not meant to start bhakti. Old age is meant to relish the realizations that you have got from practicing bhakti in early age. So see, crisis. So that person who has practiced bhakti for a long time, he will not feel crisis of anything. Why? Because he knows what is permanent, what is temporary, and in his life he has invested enough time in bhakti, and he has got a permanent asset with him. That is wonderful realizations. He has got his permanent asset. So he will not get into crisis. He will ask himself, what did I do with my life? Because he has something permanent with him now. Second, A, anxiety. A person who is practicing bhakti for a long time, you know what happens with time? He develops dependence on the Lord. When he develops dependence on the Lord, he will not be anxiety thinking what next. He is very clear about it. He is dependent on the Lord. A. And mind is young. So since he has been practicing bhakti for a long time, right from the young age, he has trained his mind very nicely. Train his mind also to do bhakti. As of now, we are doing bhakti. We have to train our mind to do bhakti. So mind is also trying to do bhakti. Focus on Krishna. E. Exposed to reality. So for him, nothing is new. Already was trained in bhakti by reading scriptures. What reality is going to come very soon in his life? How the body is going to deteriorate? How people will start separating? He knows things. He's clear. And else comes for loneliness. So a person who has practiced sadhana very nicely, for him, he'll always feel the presence of Krishna with him. He's never lonely. Can you imagine such people when they are there, bedridden also? They still have the ability to smile, not just from the face, from the heart. They are joyful from the heart. They will not have all these different complaints. In fact, someone comes to talk to them and they don't disturb, I'm doing something very important. What an important thing? Meditating on the Lord. They have a practice. They're able to realize the presence of the Lord. They're able to have these deeper meditations. Don't disturb. Consulting even such people are there in the family. Don't you think such people will be valued so much? Normally now, this time, this age, modern age, those people are not given much value. They are not practiced bhakti very nicely, they don't have realizations. But then, with time, as sadhakas grow older and older, bhakti is seen, the value so much. Because they are having such a great treasure of realizations. Recently, I had gone someplace. I was staying in that house of devotees only. So there was one person, very old, he was like 85 or something. He's not able to remember anything, much. Recently, they told me that he's not able to remember the names of the grandchildren also. That's the situation. He's not able to walk properly. I saw him, he was walking with all difficulty. But then one thing which I was really amazed at was, when he's sitting and someone gives him Bhagavad Gita, he goes on reading hours together. Because this is what he was doing as a person, practicing devotional service for young time. Then asked what is the background. They told me that at a very young age he became to bhakti and he preached the message of Krishna consciousness many villages around that place, and he made many people as devotees. Now this is the benediction that he has got. Naturally, when you're not able to remember things because of old age, but still, that practice that he had of reading Shastra has not gone. He reads Shastra. The practice of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra has not gone that close. Even when he's forgetting, various different things about his country. This is called real investment. Practicing bhakti is a real investment. And even in the Islam, we have so many senior devotees who actively go around. I saw me recently attending a class of the Solindas Manaswami Maharaj, his Prabhupada disciple. He just crossed 18. Full clarity, he was giving class to us. Discourse, Srimad Bhagavatam, multiple sessions he gave. With all cheerfulness and joyousness. I was wondering, this is what is called as practicing bhakti very nicely, intensely for a long time. This is how one person will get. Fully joyful, truly joyful. So in this way, we see that the value of materials goes down with time. The value of the spirituals goes on increasing with time. Therefore, in Islam, as the devotees become more and more senior, their value goes on increasing, and these junior devotees want to go and take their association. Because they have the treasure of Krishna consciousness. Yes. Therefore, when we're discussing all these horrifying things, so the question comes, as sadhakas, what should we do currently? First thing is we have to modify our lifestyle. That's very, very important. We should modify our lifestyle in such a way that bhakti becomes first priority. This complaint that we don't have time, we don't have time. When you have a lot of time, you will face all this problem. Better take out time now and put bhakti as the first priority. Yes. And see, we have to practice bhakti without interruption. Sometimes I see in sadhakas, spiritual practitioners giving foolish reasons that I have a lot of work in the office, I have gone to someone's marriage, I had this health issue and that, and this, whatever. See, we have to practice bhakti consistently. Have you seen when we pour oil from one container to another? So at that time, the oil had a very uniform stream falling to another vessel. You don't see gas between. Yes. It's not like water, drop, drop, drop. It's very uniform. So Ramanacharya, one of the great Acharya, what he says, he said that bhakti should be like this, without any interruption. Every single day, without fail. Come what may, come what may. In fact, sometimes I tell the devotees, and even if Yavraj comes, you tell Yavraj that no, wait, my Ramanacharya will completely complete. Even if the health is not good, no problem. Lying on the bed, I continue practice. This is the practice that is expected. Bhakti is the first priority, and bhakti without interruption. This is possible with modified lifestyles in this. Srila Prabhupada writes in the birth of the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Shloka 65. He said we should modify our lifestyle in such a way that we'll be able to remember Krishna all the time. Why all the time? Because you never know when you're able to leave the world. This is a practice. This is only possible with modification of lifestyle. Second thing is, see, we have to invest more time in bhakti. Each one of us. We have to take out time and invest more time in bhakti. It's all about taking out time. It's all about taking out time. Everyone, if they're interested in something, if they understand the importance of it, they take out time. I've seen people, very busy people, great business magnets. They take out time, 1.5 hours to exercise. Why? Listen. Similarly, when we realize bhakti is important, at that time, naturally we take out time, and therefore it's very important to invest more time. So, when we're saying more time in bhakti, it means you have to focus both on quality of bhakti and the quantity of bhakti. Like, for example, chanting. So, when we're talking about chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra on beats, you have to increase the number of rounds that we're chanting. We begin with say 1 round, 2 round. You go to 4, you go to 8, you come to 12, 16, you increase the rounds. And simultaneously we focus on quality also. Both go hand in hand. We have to increase our time that we spend reading Shastra, scriptures. Because we understand the truth of life as given in scriptures. We have to increase the time that we give for Shravana. Is more we give time for all this, you know what happens? Whatever till now we have done, whatever activity, all those dirty things are there in the mind. We have to cleanse all that. It's very, very important to clean up all that. And more we do devotional service, this cleansing will happen. Yes. Therefore, Srimad Bhagavatam says something very, very important. Srinavadam Swakatha Krishna. Srinavadam Swakatha Krishna. Punyashravana Kirtanaha. Rivantastoya Bhadrani. Viduroti Subhatsada. Very okay story. Here it is that anyone who hears the glories of the Lord, starting short, but also basically means giving more time to bhakti, you know what happens? Lord personally takes interest in his life. And this particular shloka says, Viduroti Subhatsada, Lord enters the heart of the person and he personally cleanses our dirty heart. He purifies us. This bhakti that we do is a great practice. More the time invest. You like it or you don't like, understand the importance of where you invest time. Actually, your heart will cleanse. Very, very important to cleanse our heart. I remember our mind is going to remain the same. It's going to remain the same in mind. And now that we have some energy in the body, you know what we're supposed to do? Serve this mission of Krishna consciousness. Let's use all our skills and talents. Distribute this knowledge of bhakti to others. Get more people into the realm of bhakti. I always say this, that how many people will get to the realm of devotional service? Krishna will give that commission. And what is the commission all about? The commission is our bhakti increases. Our taste in bhakti increases, our taste in Krishna consciousness increases. It's very simple. You help others to get closer to Krishna, you get closer to Krishna. How? You hold the hand of the person and say, come, and take it closer to Krishna. So you're taking that person, don't you also go over to Krishna? As simple as that. So we have to be those Krishnaries who help others to get closer to Krishna. Very important. And simultaneously, when you're doing all this, you have to practice Sharanagati. Sharanagati has got 6 limbs. What are these 6 limbs? First one is Anupulisa Sankalpa. Means I accept only those things, I do only those things which are favorable to Bhakti. As soon as you understand these discourses, only these things are favorable, we do that. This is the first Anga of Sharanagati. Second Anga of Sharanagati is Pratikulyasya Varjana. Giving up all those different things are not favorable to Bhakti. So as soon as you hear that these things are not favorable to Bhakti, immediately we should give it up. Why take time? What's the need of taking more time? Immediately give it. Then, few things after this, when you start doing these two, naturally other things will manifest. Rakshashiti Vishwasa, having faith that Krishna will protect in every situation. Gopatatve Vardatana, having this faith and confidence that Krishna will maintain in every situation. Atmaniksheva, depending only on Krishna for our spiritual progress for our entire life. Kartikeya, remains humble, understanding, and very, very small. God is very, very gracious. And that's humility. These 6 angas, if you implement in our life, that's called a surrender. That's what surrender means. You will not change by your position. There's no need to leave your home to practice Sharanagati. These are 6 things. Starting with, accept those things which are favorable to Bhakti and reject immediately those things which are not favorable to Bhakti. You do these two, nicely, other things will manifest automatically. Just imagine that person has this faith that Krishna will protect me in every situation. Krishna will maintain me in every situation. Will that person will ever go through crisis, anxiety, and so on? This is a practice that is needed. All glories to Prabhupada, who made our life so simple by telling us what to do and what not to do. And therefore, today, all around the world, so many people, young people are taken to devotional service, and they are the ones that are growing old. They have become the valuable assets in this town. Yes. Therefore, in conclusion, the only thing that I would like to say is, see, as sadhakas, each one of us We are expected to intensify our devotional service. Very, very important. So as we intensify our devotional service, both quality and quantity, you will be blessed. You will be blessed with realizations. That's the first thing. You'll realize the temporariness of this world. You'll realize that the government, that your spirit soul. You'll realize a very, very important thing, that you're a servant of Krishna. These realizations will be gifted to us. Remember, realizations are gifted. It cannot be practiced. You practice bhakti and be pleased with us, Krishna will give the realizations. That's the first thing. You'll be gifted with realizations. Second thing is, many times people say that Prabhuji, I don't have time to practice bhakti. You know what? It's not about time, it's about taste. So we can say, Prabhuji, I don't have taste in bhakti. But as soon as you have taste and interest, naturally time comes. So as we continue practicing bhakti, as we intensify our practice, both quality and quantity, you know what happens? Another gift will be yours. And that gift is called ruchi, taste. Taste to chant more. Taste to read more. Taste to hear more about the glories of the Lord. Taste will be given to us. Ruchi will be given to us as a gift. Sometimes people say that as of now, we can just what to do. Firstly, understand the importance of all this what you have discussed. And another very important thing, as told our acharyas, we all have a disease, unfortunately. Srila Rupa Swami in the Upadesha, he says something very beautiful. He says, Sya Krishna Charita Sita Pitottara Sanasya Narochikam Hindvagadavodinam Halusaiva Dushtam Swadvikama Bhavat Tadvanamodanam. He's saying that our situation is like the situation of a person who is what? Jobless. Anyone got jobless? Or you might have heard what happened in jobless. The tongue gets a layer. It gets a layer. And whatever he eats, it seems like very bitter. Even when it is sugar candy seems bitter. But you know what? The remedy or the solution or the cure for jaundice is sugar candy. You're supposed to keep taking sugar candy. You'll feel bitter, but still have to keep taking sugar candy. And it will stay with time, slowly and steadily. Bitterness will come down, sweetness will go up. Okay, my question for all of you. Sugar candy is bitter or sweet? So the problem is with person or sugar candy? Person. He has disease, therefore he cannot able to taste the sugar. He's not able to taste the sweetness of sugar candy. So he keeps taking sugar candy, the layer of the tongue keeps going off, he's able to taste sweetness, and every time. Then with time, he will be able to taste it's sweeter and sweeter and sweeter, and every time, then he will be able to taste the sweetness of sugar candy as it is without any difference. Why am I saying all this? Because Acharya is telling me, Sya Krishna Nama Siddhartha Vidya. Sya Krishna Nama Charita Siddhartha Vidya. So currently, all of us we have got a disease called jaundice. And currently, that is very sweet. Krishna's name, form, qualities, pastimes, all that is still feeling bitter. Have you seen when we start chanting? The beats, we hold the feather beat in the hand and we chant. And we know when it's going to end. And sometimes I see people remove the beats from the Gita and checking when is the station going to come. Why do we do all this? And why is it that after completing our rounds, 2 rounds, 4 rounds, 16 rounds, or whatever, we chant, we say we're done for the day. You don't feel like chanting more. Why? And similarly, now we're sitting in the class and say, we announce that the class will extend 1 or 2 hours. And we tell them, oh, we have got some important work in the form. We just come. I think I'm the only one sitting here and speak to the walls. Why? Because as we don't have a taste, we know it's important, therefore we come be here. But we don't have a taste to continue because it doesn't feel that sweet. It doesn't feel that sweet. They were chanting the holy names, hearing about the Lord, reading Bhagavad Gita and so on. It doesn't feel sweet now because we are deceased. Holy name is sweet. So many great personalities. I know some personalities who stay in the town and my other places. Every day we chant. Recently, I heard from my student that he's staying with someone, and that person every day chants 90 rounds, 90. Yes. And I know some people in the town every day they chant 128 rounds. It takes 24 hours for your information. Prabhupada himself and various godfathers of Prabhupada, they would chant 64 rounds every day, 8 hours a day. So it means there is no problem with the holy name. There are people facing sweetness. But we people of John is not able to take the sweetness. So now the question comes, how to take the sweetness then? They are enjoying so much, we are struggling. How to take the sweetness? What was the solution for John? Sugar cane. Keep eating sugar cane. More and more. And for us also here, we have to get rid of this disease. So what are we supposed to do? Do more and more. Chant more. Hear more. Read more. Do more and more. You will feel bitter, but still we force ourselves to be good. Because this is the cure. And we do it with adara, with respect, with reverence. What happens is, slowly and steadily, the disease will go away, and there will be a time when this disease will be uprooted directly from the root. And at that time, you know what? When we start chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, we would not want to stop it. And this is the stage that we should reach before we get that age that we're discussing, the old age. That time, just imagine, you'll be very, very old, and you're just sitting in your stand, not doing anything. You're holding trees, and you're chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And you finish that now, you turn it and you chant, and you turn it and you chant. You just chant 24 hours. You just taste it as sweetness. You will continue tasting the sweetness. You want to do that more and more and more. Don't you think this will be the best situation that a person can be in the old age? Yes. And each one of us we will go through a phase where we're better. If you have already got the sweetness of, we are tasting the sweetness of the holy name, when we are there at the bedridden state, if you're chanting the holy name, close your eyes chanting, and someone comes to talk, and you're like, don't disturb that, this is something important. It is so sweet, so wonderful. Therefore, now is the time when we prepare all this. We intensify our devotional service and we receive the pleasure of realization and receive the pleasure of taste. Therefore, if you don't become a realized soul, then always you will be very miserable. You will become a burden to others. Unfortunately, others should carry your burden. Yes. Therefore, one key point that I should be start as early as possible to become serious in Krishna consciousness. As early as possible. More early, more the better, more better our state will be when we hit that phase of life. And those people who say that bhakti is meant for old age, you should give them an important class to life. They are the skilled people. Because of such people, we are not able to come to the stage of realization and taste when we are already in the stage of old age. Very difficult to start anything in the old age. But if you come to the stage of relishing things in the old age, Krishna consciousness, life will be very, very peaceful. Therefore, old age is an age-old problem that we can easily tackle if you are fully Krishna conscious. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Prabhupada ki jai. Forgive me, especially all the senior citizens who has spoken something which is not proper according to you in this way. Again, any question that anyone wants to ask, please go ahead. Okay, no questions? Great. So please practice working nicely. All of us so fortunate to have Bhagavan Raj and Prabhu, Mansari, our Vishwas, Prabhu. No, they are considered. We're so fortunate to have them. For your information, Bhagavan provided until yesterday, they traveled the evening from West Bengal to this place. I was staying in the room for that time. I was there at the room. See, when we travel, it's very tiring, long distance travel. We travel. And I was very happy and very proud also that both husband and wife are here organizing this program. You not get such matters. Same with Shiva, whose wife is pregnant, and he's here. He's here just to assist all of you in his spiritual service. So take the advantage of life, all the good methods, and become more and more serious in Krishna consciousness. That's not what it is. Thank you. Okay, so we will all chant now. So much has spoken about this. Let's do some practice. With all of you have release, please take the release. Ready, everyone? Yes, ready, everyone. Eyes closed. Okay, let's prepare our mind. I'll speak in our page here. With every eyes closed, no talking, no disturbance. Let's prepare our mind for mantra meditation. First and foremost, remind yourself, and it's a very rare opportunity to sit here in an alcoholic atmosphere with spiritually like-minded people. Remind yourself that it is a rare opportunity that you get only once a week. Only once in a week. And this mantra meditation only for 10 minutes. So tell your mind, don't disturb the next 10 minutes. And today we discussed that the disease that we have got, we feel better, chanting will be better. But then, if you chant properly with respect, chanting with respect means chanting attentively. If you chant with respect, properly, attentively, pronouncing the mantra properly, hearing attentively, then with time you will see that you will never face the holy name. Lord will give us that gift, taste. Therefore, the activity that we want to do is a very, very important activity. And this is what is going to sustain us throughout our life, and especially in the last phase of our life. For next 10 minutes, it's only you and the mantra.